Hi there, I'm Sally Stubbs. I really would like you to know me as Sally. Just call me Sally, that will be great. I'm delighted to be here and speaking with you again. And this short video, I'm going to keep it short because I'm sure you've got a busy life, is the third in the series of my 8 golden keys, and they are made of gold because I've just honed these keys over the last 30 years to make them pure and make them effective, and they are keys which are going to unlock where you've maybe become stuck or blocked in your life with the I can'ts and the what ifs. So these particular 8 golden keys are about deconstructing what I simplistically call negative inner dialogues. And yeah, I talked with you in my last video clip about using this amazing river, the River Greta. She is flowing here right through our garden in the heart of the exquisitely beautiful English Lake District. Aren't we lucky to have her? And yeah, I talked about her as a metaphor for many years ago, without any ill intention whatsoever, up the stream a ways, that human beings thought that they could dump muck in her and pollute her. No ill intention, as I often say. We just didn't know any better at the time. And so then, yeah, we got smart and we cleaned her up with some effort, because it doesn't happen overnight. And I'm still using this amazing river. She is a special site of scientific interest, or is that a site of special scientific interest? I'm not sure which way round it is, but she is now guarded from being polluted, and Mike and I, who are lucky to live here on the banks, we also look after her. So all of that is just to recap about considering that as a baby, as an infant, our mind, our unconscious mind, our conscious mind is growing and has this free flow of pure energy. And then along comes difficult, bewildering, painful situations in life, and the unconscious mind takes on board these negative dialogues. So some of these negative dialogues aren't simply like muck in this river, which was damaging its life force, but can also become like boulders that are really stopping our life force. And these golden keys that I so want to share with you are not only going to help clean up the muck within your own negative inner dialogues that stop you doing things, but can also begin to deconstruct, again using that metaphor, like boulders that import their way down a river like this and block that flow of life force and energy. And why bother, you may ask? And I totally understand that, because maybe for years and years or a lifetime you have been getting by even with negative inner dialogues. And in fact, those negative inner dialogues, in some sense, at certain points in your life, can have made you stronger, because even though things were difficult and you felt you couldn't do this, that you had the I can't do this, nevertheless you pushed on and you did achieve with so much. And that's great, and that is definitely strengthening. But hey, we can really get down to it now and really have that free life force for yourself within your own consciousness to achieve. So do go back and look at those first 2 video clips that I've made for you, with lots of great information and explaining what we're doing, and importantly explaining how to begin to do this, to deconstruct lastingly and authentically these negative inner dialogues. And I do on occasions get quite heated about the strategies that many people who've come to me have been using, which is like the positive thinking or the positive self-affirmations, the breathing techniques, the relaxations, a good workout, distraction. Yeah, all these things help for a short period of time, but they're not lasting. And what I really want to articulate with you is that working with these 8 golden keys, they're not that time consuming. You will achieve these lasting results, that you'll feel this inner flow of your own life force, of your I can, your I can'ts being deconstructed. So we're asking this question: why should you bother to do this when, yeah, you've managed to have a okay or pretty good life for yourself, you've got by despite this negative inner dialogue? Okay, just briefly want to talk with you, and perhaps you know all this stuff, but for all of us who know all this good stuff that I'm about to discuss with you, it's worth reminding ourselves that the negative inner dialogues always come from a fear state. You have started to make your own list, I hope, and if you haven't, go and look at the first 2 videos. But they always come from a fear state, either a fear state that happened in our environment when there were the big people around us giving us messages, basically those messages imported from bigger people, I repeat, with no ill intention, but they create a fear within us. Or that those messages, those dialogues come from ourselves to stop us doing certain things to keep us safe. Nevertheless, they are contained within a fear state. Those dialogues continue to play in different situations or different environments or things that come up in life. They continue to play within our unconscious minds. Sometimes we're not even consciously aware that we're having those dialogues. We don't even hear those thoughts. What we often do is we feel the results of those thoughts. We feel it in our body, like tightening or a churning or a knotting or a sickliness or a shaking or a trembling. The point I'm making here is that when we are often triggering automatically from our brain those fear states, those states of arousal, one of the things that happens is that our body is pretty much flooded with the neurotransmitter or hormone cortisol. And cortisol is damaging basically to the lean tissue in the body. What cortisol wants us to do is to run like the wind, or to turn and, if it's appropriate, to fight off a predator. And then the cortisol gets used up and we're fine, but the cortisol is breaking down that lean tissue to release the break down fats and release sugar into the system so that we become really tough fighters. But in these psychological, emotional, or maybe if you prefer the word spiritual, difficult experiences, when we're scared or there's fear around us and within us, we get stuck. We can't fight off the big people. And it might get worse when there's the big people around us if we run away and use up that cortisol. So one of the reasons of why to work with my 8 golden keys is for the health of your body. And if you need more information on that, there's loads of it around. We've got this great, amazing thing now called the internet. So we can just pretty much go and look it all up quickly and easily. So let's just take it nice and easy. On my last golden key, I was asking you to start making lists of your own negative inner dialogues, your prediction dialogues that tend to start with or mean, what if I did that? What if this happens? What if I go for an interview and they all hate me? Those prediction kind of inner dialogues. And the other dialogues, the headline of those is the I can'ts. But you've been getting to know your own inner dialogues recently. If, as I say, you've been working with those first 2 golden keys. I'm just repeating this now in this video for you, is to just stay nice and easy, gently with yourself, a few minutes a day with your lists, really getting to be able to understand and differentiate 2 lists, asking that really important question as you're recognizing that dialogue. Where did it come from is the question to be asking. Where did that one come from? From one of those 2 sources, from outside of you, the bigger people outside of you, or sometimes the kind of just consensus understanding. So it maybe didn't come from, or they didn't come from, specific bigger people or individuals in your life. Maybe came from the consensus understanding of something that you, when you were younger, were saying or doing. And the second list is the most important. They're both important, of course, but this second list is even more important. Those inner dialogues that came from yourself. We're not trying to get rid of that particular list, because, as I mentioned particularly in the second video, those dialogues that came from ourself originally in an attempt to keep us safe, to stop us and block us from doing something in our life in those next moments that could make a bewildering, confusing situation worse. So those dialogues come from ourselves to stop us, to block us in our path. They keep on replaying in the unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind and the language of the unconscious mind has particularly been my passion for the last 33 years in really understanding that language. So just sidestepping for a moment, simply to add here, why would I be passionate about the language of the unconscious mind? Well, because, and you can go and look this up, there's loads of studies now, that round about 90% of all our life is unconsciously driven. So most of these dialogues that we may be consciously familiar with, a number of them, are coming up from our unconscious mind. So I'm just asking you now to, take it nice and easy, be gentle with yourself, as in the coming week or two, you just keep on differentiating those two lists so that you really know where those dialogues came from. The list that came from out there, from the other big people, in a way they're quite easy to deconstruct and we can just get rid of them. I've got far better and more fun strategies for you than the relaxation, the deep breathing, the positive thinking, but we'll be coming to that in one of my other golden keys. The negative dialogues that came from ourselves in an attempt to keep us safe, that part of ourself will be very reluctant to begin to give those up. So they're going to take a little bit more time, not that much time, but a little bit more of your time. Although this is a big subject and quite complex really, these keys are simple and not time consuming. However, you may have some questions for me. Any emails you send to me with your questions or your thoughts or ideas, they will come to me in complete privacy, be completely confidential, so do just email me. And I'll be back soon with the fourth of our golden keys in this series, and I wish you inner peace and happiness and that flow of energy to have the freedom to thoroughly celebrate your life. So for now, from me and our amazing river greeter, I'll say bye-bye and speak to you again soon.